I wasn't born into bodybuilding. I wasn't born with perfect genetics, a golden barbell in my hand, or the certainty that one day I'd be standing on stage with the best physiques in the world. I was born in Kentucky into a working-class family where hard work wasn't just valued, it was survival. My father was a man of discipline, someone who taught me that nothing worth having comes easy. That lesson would follow me my whole life, through fire, sweat, and steel. But in those early days, the stage was the last thing on my mind. Before I ever earned a trophy, I earned a helmet. I became a firefighter, a calling, not just a job. Being a firefighter wasn't glamorous. It was dangerous. It was dirty. It was life and death. I can still remember the smell of smoke embedded in my clothes, the adrenaline when that alarm went off, the split-second decisions that meant someone else got to live another day. That career shaped me long before bodybuilding did. It taught me responsibility, courage, and sacrifice. And in many ways, it gave me the foundation to become the kind of athlete I would eventually be. Even when bodybuilding started to enter my life, I never left the firehouse behind. Imagine this, coming off an overnight shift, maybe having been up all night dragging hoses, carrying people out of burning homes, and then heading straight into the gym because training didn't wait for anyone. That was my life for years. I was living two worlds, one where I saved lives and another where I sculpted my body into art. I didn't walk into the gym dreaming of Olympia glory. I walked in because I wanted to be stronger, fitter, more confident. My first shows, they weren't wins. I didn't step on stage and blow the judges away the first time. I had to grind. I had to lose, learn, and come back better. But something inside me lit up on that stage. The discipline of firefighting spilled over into the discipline of training. I started climbing through the amateur ranks, putting in the hours, not just in the gym, but in studying posing, diet, recovery, the finer points of bodybuilding that separate the average from the elite. By 1991, all that work paid off. I stood on stage at the NPC Nationals, the single most important amateur contest in the country, and I walked away with the overall title. That victory gave me something I had been chasing quietly for years, professional status. I was officially an IFBB pro bodybuilder. Pro bodybuilding is a different animal. Every man on that stage has already proven himself. Every man is hungry. But in 1992, at my very first pro show, the Chicago Pro Invitational, I did what few managed to do. I won. First time out. The judges, the fans, they saw something in me. Symmetry, balance, presentation. And I wasn't done. I would go on to compete in the Arnold Classic, one of the most prestigious contests in the sport. And of course, I stepped onto the ultimate stage, the Mr. Olympia. I wasn't the biggest guy up there, not by a long shot. But I brought something different. My best Olympia placing was 8th in 1994 against giants of the era. For me, that was validation. I had arrived. Now, here's something that set me apart, and something fans still talk about to this day. Posing. For me, bodybuilding was never just about stacking slabs of muscle. It was about presenting the body as art. My routines weren't random flexing. They were choreographed, practiced, crafted. I thought about flow and about storytelling, about how each pose transitioned into the next. When I stepped on stage, I wanted people to feel something, awe, inspiration, even a little drama. Fans told me later they came to shows just to watch my routines. That's a legacy I cherish, because long after size fades, artistry remains. But behind the lights, there were struggles. Injuries are the quiet enemy of every bodybuilder. For me, the shoulders were my weak point. Years of lifting, years of firefighting, they took their toll. Pain followed me into the gym and even onto the stage. It wasn't just about lifting less weight, it was about how it affected my posing, the very thing I was known for. I rarely spoke about it publicly, but the truth is, those injuries began to shape my decision about how long I would stay in sport. By the late 1990s, bodybuilding was changing. The era of aesthetics, of balance, of presentation was giving way to something else, an obsession with mass at all costs. Bigger is better became the rule, and I knew in my heart that wasn't the path I wanted. I had a choice: chase size until my health paid the price, or step away with my values intact. I chose the latter. Some might call that quitting. I call it wisdom. Retirement didn't mean disappearing. I shifted into coaching, personal training, and speaking. I wanted to pass on what I had learned, not just about muscle, but about discipline, balance, and integrity. I believed, and still believe, that bodybuilding should serve your life, not consume it. My faith, my family, and my service as a firefighter always meant more to me than any trophy ever could. I left the stage, yes, but I carried the lessons with me into every other part of life. So that's my story. Born in Kentucky, a firefighter by duty, a bodybuilder by passion. I won the NPC Nationals in 1991. I won my pro debut in Chicago in 1992. I stood on the Olympia stage, known for symmetry, aesthetics, and posing routines that people still talk about. I was never the biggest man in the sport, but I believed in bringing beauty, balance, and artistry to bodybuilding. I balanced saving lives with building a physique. Now, I've shared my journey with you. Can you guess who I am? Well, if you guessed. Porter Cottrell, you guessed right. If you like what we are doing at the Pump Files, subscribe and click on that notification bell for more intriguing stories of bodybuilding mystery legends. See you next time.